Hey guys, isn't it just so crazy to think that we have already come to container gardening again for the year, and I am super excited because container gardening for us starts with violas and pansies and branches and all kinds of really fun stuff, and it's just really good to see that color right now, especially since a lot of us are at home. So today what I'm going to share with you is a little container I'm going to be making with these beautiful blue violas. Beautiful viola color is called Penny Deep Blue. It's absolutely one of my favorites, and I tend to use this color every single year, even though this year I did choose some other colors just for fun. Today we're going to plant up this awesome container. You guys may remember this from last year. We had a really cool combination, but I'm going to start it off this year with violas, and when the violas start not doing as well once it gets a lot hotter, maybe like mid-June, then we'll go ahead and maybe just plant something new in there. We always want to make sure there are holes on the bottom for drainage. And then we go ahead and we just add some potting soil. Now we have our potting soil in there, so that's one step closer to flowers in the garden, and I'm super excited. So the next step for us always is Osmocote, time-release fertilizer. It can last up to 3 months. So when you buy Osmocote fertilizer, this time-release fertilizer, there's actually instructions on it on how to use it. I've been using it for years, so we just go ahead and we eyeball it in there. And then we mix it in like the top 4 to 6 inches, depending on how deep down you're planting. And there we go. We got that all in there, smooth it in there. All right. The next thing we're gonna add are our blue little violas here. Before we plant all of our plants, we always like to break up the root just a little bit on the bottom. That allows it to take off a lot faster. We're gonna go ahead and plant these actually pretty close. I'm gonna go with just one solid color in here, and we're gonna keep them about this distance apart. I always start in the middle when I'm going with a solid combination, because then I fill in all the way around it. You can do it however works for you too, but that's what works for us. The next thing I'm going to add is this beautiful decorative moss. So you don't have to soak it at all, but I'm going ahead and just soaking it just a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit easier to use, but it's not like real moss where you really need to soak it in order to lay it in places. Now this adds just that little extra touch of spring. Just by adding that small little bit of material really kicks it up to feeling more like spring. And if you really want to kick up your container, you can use beautiful willow branches. These ones here we cut off of our bush over in the garden behind us. What's really nice about them is that they're starting to come into their foliage right now. So as long as they stay wet, they're going to get these beautiful green leaves on them. And if you don't have any of your own willow bushes or trees, feel free to always go and get some at the store. They carry them in bundles for really inexpensive. And what's really cool is the reason why we have willow bushes right now is because we let ours sit in a vase one year when I got them for a bouquet. And then they started rooting, and I split them apart, and now we have 2 huge willow bushes. So we're actually going to let these guys root, and then we're going to use these for more bushes along our waterway. So they're really easy to duplicate and multiply after you're done using them in a beautiful container. So you can cut them however you want to place them in here. I want mine to look kind of like really wild. I like to add like more of a nature feel in with the flowers. I'm pretty much mimicking the landscape outside, so we have pansy flowers, but everything else right now is either brown or just about to bud, and that's what creates the true spring container garden. So we're gonna go ahead and just add this right in here. And I'm just gonna sporadically place them. And once we have this watered, you're actually watering these branches, so they will root in here. So once the violas aren't doing too well because of the heat, we'll remove them, and then these will actually be rooted to be planted as new bushes throughout the gardens. And what you can do with the violas is you can plant them up into something else for now, because they'll be blossoming again once the weather starts cooling near the end of summer and we're coming into fall. That would be a lot of beautiful color. Blue with orange pumpkins. It's gorgeous. So when I go ahead and water this, I'm going to water it all the way through because a lot of these branches are all the way down at the bottom. This also isn't a very deep container, so a lot of the viola roots are already over halfway under the soil. Well, I really hope you guys love this first container gardening session of the season. We were so excited to do this today and put this out for all of you. And I really hope you guys are enjoying the videos because I think we all need a little spring cheer in our lives right now. So thank you so much for watching. And if you don't already subscribe, please feel free to subscribe. And if you love this video, put a thumbs up. Thank you so much, you guys. Have an awesome day.